Hello, everyone. Coming up here on the Pro Wrestling Show presents the NXT Ring Report. Let's get to the latest on what's going on with the NXT Ring Report. Coming up, I want to talk about this. These three big men, three of the most destructive superstars in NXT, will meet when Kenyon Carter and Jasper Troy and Josh Bridges clash in a triple threat match. Which one of these three men will show who's the toughest of the toughest on NXT? We'll see coming up. As well as this, Solo Roca will be in action against the Cullen's Izzy Dame. We'll see Solo Roca versus Izzy Dame. Solo Roca getting a win over Zarya, as well as Izzy Dame trying to get back her win and stuff. Plus, we'll talk about this. The men's speed tournament begins to determine who's the next champion, the vacated championship. We'll see that coming up. As well as this right here, Lola Vice will speak to the NXT universe for the first time since becoming NXT Women's Champion. We'll see that coming up. And also, too, in Wrestling Hot Topics, we talk about this. Tony Khan appears on the Coach and Bro podcast with John Den the Coach and Vince Russo. Tony Khan opening up to the Coach and Vince Russo. We'll see. Coming up, we get the Pro Wrestling Show started right here, right now. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this edition of the Pro Wrestling Show presents the NXT Ring Report. I'm your host, as always, Kendra Dix here. Glad you're joining us on the NXT Ring Report. Join in the conversation using the hashtag Pro Wrestling here on Connect TV and our platform as well. All right, y'all. Let's not waste no time whatsoever. Let's get things started with the NXT Ring Report. Right here, right now. I want to talk about, I'm going to get that off. There you go. I'm going to get that off right quick. All right, we start off with this right here. The three destructive superstars of NXT. I mean destructive between Jasper Troy, Josh Bridges, and Kenyon Carter. Man, these three men have been beating the holy crap out of each other ever since since whenever we saw them. Well, they had their match, but we saw a couple of weeks ago, last week, when they was Kenyon Carter versus Jasper Troy. Jasper Troy versus Kenyon Carter, one-on-one to Josh Bridges made a point to attack both men to show that he's dominant amongst all of them. Josh Bridges wanted to do so tonight. So we saw that match tonight kick off NXT, and it did. What a match that was. I want to show you clips of it beforehand. I guess they were supposed to show that. I guess they saving it, I'm assuming. And, we saw how that was going to go down as well. So we see that it did not happen. That it did. I'm thinking probably what did, but we saw earlier as well. So we kind of saw that how that played out. But we start off with this. Tony D'Angelo speaks as the first winning the NXT Championship at Stand and Deliver. I'm going to show you Stand and Deliver. That's SmackDown right here. We'll talk about Pat McAfee another day. But this right here, I'm going to get to this right here. Stand and Deliver. As we saw Tony D'Angelo win the coveted NXT Championship from Joe Henry in that triple threat match. Tony D'Angelo proved that he belonged, and Tony D'Angelo also made history. Tony D'Angelo made history becoming the first NXT Grand Slam champion. D'Angelo was the North American, the Heritage, a tag team champion, and now the NXT champion. So he has done it, and he's done it, and now he's the new champion. And everybody better take notice of that what Tony D'Angelo got going on as well. But Tony D'Angelo coming in proud of himself, winning the coveted NXT Championship. Let's see what Tony D gonna do coming up. But also too was Dark State. Dark State trying to make their claim. As you see that Tony D'Angelo, Joe Henry, and Ricky Saints all came out there to put up against Dark State. So these four men were competing against each other for the NXT Championship. Now they're going to team together later on against Dark State. So we're going to see that match coming up. Dark State versus Joe Henry, new champion Tony D'Angelo, Ricky Saints, and what's his name? Forgot his name. I forgot. Um, um, all ego Ethan Page. 8-man tag team match. So we'll see that match a little bit later on the show. Well, a lot of moving parts as well. So we see that EK Prosper and the rest of them for the North America for the Speed Championship. That's gonna go. Maybe EK Prosper might get. But right here we see Alexis King went against um uh someone from the Evolve brand and beat them to a point. What's going on? So that's the Evolve brand is evolving as we see. We see a lot of that going down. But as we saw tonight, um, put up a shut up that it once was, but you kind of saw that. But we saw Lexus King win against Chaz Hall or somebody like that. This newcomer Chaz Hall, and Lexus King won his match. And Lexus King advances on. So we see Lexus King advances on to the next round, as well as next week EK Prosper will take on somebody next week from Evolve. So the speed tournament will happen in week 2 to determine the new champion. So we'll see that. But we also meant to say EK Nigel Carter can oh got his name Ken something. Carter won his match. And won that indeed. So Keanu won his match. So Keanu won his match tonight. So we see what happened with that. Also, too, we see Solo Roca. Solo Roca was in action. Solo Roca went against Izzy Dame. What match that was? Solo Roca versus Izzy Dame, 1-on-1, and Solo Roca won her match over Izzy Dame, but at the end, it was Zarya who still got a issue with Solo Roca. Solo Roca better watch yourself. Zarya hasn't forgot after we want to show you this right here from Stand and Deliver. Zarya really took it out on Izzy Dame. I mean, not Izzy Dame, but her former best friend Solo Roca. Zarya trying to, but Izzy Dame, well, not Izzy Dame, but Izzy Dame can't get the best of Solo Roca at the Solo Roca pent Zarya right here to get the 1-2-3. And now Solo Roca now got some new problems. These are unresolved issues with Zarya. As you see right here, Zarya still ain't done with Izzy Solo Roca. Well, it looks like Miss Parker, Jada Parker, issue a challenge to Kehlani Jordan. These two women will meet next week, 1-on-1. So Kehlani Jordan versus Jada Parker next week. We'll see that match coming up. That should be a what they call a rocket buster between Kehlani Jordan and Jada Parker. We'll see that match next week. Yeah. We'll see how that's gonna fit for them coming up. So looking forward to seeing that. Well, Blake Monroe continues on mocking Tatum Paxton. Tatum Paxton is still the champion. Blake Monroe having her own design belt. She has a black and pinkish, like a Barbie-ish belt. She was in action tonight, but what action it was, but her and this dude from the Vandy Project, they went against Tatum Paxton and that weird dude with no teeth. But they won their match tonight, and they won indeed. So they're trying to get more brownie points, as you can tell right here. But her with the Vandy Project, them like Kens, and she's like a Barbie. So I guess they're trying to uh, reap the benefits of each other. Uh, how that's going to go. So we'll see how that's going to do. But they won their match tonight. But speaking of general managers, Robert Stone, he said the NXT title will be on the line as Ethan Page will challenge Tony D'Angelo for the title. Well, Solo Roca versus Zarya once again. We'll see that match as well. So a lot of moving parts as we go head into NXT next week for Revenge. All right. We get to this right here. The rump shaking, booty snatch, Lola Vice. Lola Vice makes her championship celebration since becoming the NXT Women's Champion. Want to go back and show you right quick. Lola Vice shaking her bomb. And Lola Vice, not right there. I want to show you the moment that Lola Vice became the NXT Women's Champion. And Lola Vice did so. Lola Vice did it right here by nutrition and all that. Lola Vice was ready, and Lola Vice showed the world she beat JC Jane and Kendall Gray. We're hearing good things about Kendall Gray, but Lola Vice, it was her time, it was her moment, and she was moment under the sun. Lola Vice became the new NXT Women's Champion. I guess that's what the general manager said. Hey, you can come and we'll do the victory celebration. That where it was. What a victory celebration it was for Lola Vice winning the NXT Women's Championship, her first singles championship. Lola Vice has done it, and Lola Vice showing the world, even showing JC Jane that she is nothing to mess with. And she did. Lola Vice came out there and shaked her rump and did so. Lola Vice could be going against JC Jane, her first championship defense coming up. So congratulations to the uber talented Lola Vice. All right, that is the NXT Ring Report. Let's move on to Wrestling Hot Topics. Wrestling Hot Topics. We'll talk about this. This is what's unprecedented right here. We want to show you that right quick. Tony Khan, maybe one day I might interview Tony Khan here on the Pro Wrestling Show. But Tony Khan did a via Skype interview with the coach and Vince Russo to give insights about AEW and why he was put on the hot seat. And quite forward, Tony Khan didn't pull no punches. He asked all the questions that they wanted to know, and they was been saying, and Tony Khan really came out better than he ever did before with the coach and Vince Russo trying to tell him, what to look for and stuff. And I think Vince Russo was talking about, maybe I can get Britt Baker and bring her. I'm like, what the, what? But I kind of get it. But Tony Khan was trying to see how far he can go. I mean, Vince Russo, because he's bringing one to do JCW, he's the booker, but the product to me, JCW is okay. They got a couple of folks in there, but they need to get new people. Like, they don't have nobody that's exciting like AEW do or WWE does, like something new and refreshed. They probably got to work on their television and stuff. That's what it probably is. But Tony Khan asked the questions, and Tony Khan did pretty good. So kudos to Coach and Vince Russo and Tony Khan for the interview and stuff. Speaking of that, Joe Henry will be live in concert next week. We want to see what Joe Henry is going to bring. So Joe Henry is going to be part of that next week. So looking forward to seeing what Joe Henry is going to do coming up as well. So let's see. Well, speaking of that, it looks like I got to watch that. Liv and Roxanne got their head banged up together. Ooh, that's a nasty knot. And Liv Morgan showed this right here, getting her ooh man, what is going on? Now she sent a split check. So what's going on? So we don't want to show it here. But Stephanie McCure returned the favor by showing this right here, saying she's like a doll. Woo, Lord. So A lot's going on, but like we said, we're gonna keep a close eye on this, and I'm gonna rewatch that segment again just to see how that went down. All right. Thank you all for watching this edition of the Pro Wrestling Show presents the NXT Ring Report. We're gonna leave you. We'll leave you with Tony D'Angelo standing in the middle of the ring with the NXT Championship, taking out Ethan Page, who's gonna. I've been your host, Russo. See you next time for another edition of the Pro Wrestling Show. We'll see you tomorrow.